To all those starting 2025 being a positive light in a dark time, here's Ethel Cain to remind you that it's January. It's cold, it's cloudy, and the sun dies at 4 p.m. every day. If you love dark, brooding drone music, boy, have I got the album for you. Hiya, it's me again. Just want to draw your attention to this new album by Ethel Cain, Perverts. If you don't know Ethel Cain, don't worry. That's what I'm here for. You might know the song American Teenager from their last album, Preacher's Daughter. It was everywhere. The song itself, American Teenager, was a borderline surf indie dream pop song. Compared to this beast. Even though Preacher's Daughter had its dark moments, it wasn't enough to stop the world's eyes on Ethel in the summer of 2022. Now, I'm more than happy to admit that I don't know very much about Ethel. One could argue this is the same sound from Ethel if you've been listening to them since 2019. I thought I'd listened to Preacher's Daughter fully, but going back to it after this, I wasn't so sure I had. Either way, better late than never, here I am. Not the here I am. So what does one do when you've got the whole world staring at you to see what you do next? This. Is that it? This is for sure the album you released to quell that pressure and excitement. Kurt did it with In Utero after Nevermind, etc., etc. And I like the lead single for this album, Punish, which coincidentally is track 2 on the album, so I can start with it. It's got a sort of grunge vibe to it, like when Kurt did that song with William S. Burroughs, the priest they called him. But it could also easily be a Trent Reznor track. In a decade that has seen artists embrace noise, this thing is caked in glorious feedback. You could see this thing on the soundtrack to The Witch by Robert Eggers just then. So the timing of this dropping after Nosferatu is perfect. If you like gothic folklore, for the fans. The devil and God are sure raging inside Ethel on this one. By the time House of Psychotic Woman came on, I was swimming and swirling in its delay and reverb, and had closed the curtains and turned off the lights. Hope I'm not butchering this word for the internet. Vacillator. It's a lovely, gentle track that made me think of artists such as Ellis, Cassandra Jenkins, Sierra Olena, or even Skullcrusher. Ethel is clearly a fan of Grouper. That's it, finger on the pulse. The next track, Honest, has that lo-fi piano sound you sometimes get on an Aphex Twin or Boards of Canada album, with some ethereal cathedral vocals echoing the walls of my room, again, soaked in distortion and petrol. It sounds like the song's on fire. Next track, Paul Drone, randomly made me think of Ariana Grande holding those tuning forks in her Yes and video. With Ethel's talks and gong hits in the back, the track seems to bunker down by the end as if ominous planes are flying overhead. Etienne, a mostly instrumental but beautiful track with words that I'll be thinking about all year. The acoustic in the background really glued this song together for me. Great choice. Thotochia. It's the end of the concert, the remnants of what you've heard for the last hour, the sounds playing on loop in your mind as you leave and you talk about how great that was, how holy it sounded, how theatrical. And then finally, Amber Waves, the encore for those that stayed. Stunning harmonies, a choir of angels, and what's left of the drum kit to bang on stage. A stage that looks like it's been set on fire and destroyed. The final strings of the distorted guitar. The crowd are either crying, applauding, or their jaws are dropped on the floor, or all three. Us permanently online people don't normally get fed this early in January, but if you're like me and you love to soundtrack the new year with new music for the new year as soon as you can, this is definitely a great palate cleanser. Sure, the album is dark, it's slow, but so is January, no matter how excited you are to change. Some might call this a glorified EP. Not me. Is this the decade for slowcore? Answers in the comments. Happy New Year, says Ethel. I really liked it. I think you should check it out.